What's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrificed my time. I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. What is this world coming to? Am I losing my fucking mind right now? I think I'm losing my mind. I've seen like 3 things today that make me... I'm questioning my fucking sanity. What is going on? I've seen... So... And this is fucking crazy. It's not a lot of people. I would definitely say on each issue that has the opposing wrong. It's wrong. You're objectively fucking wrong. You're wrong. You are wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. Okay, so first I've seen people, and again, it's only a handful, but just it even being one person it's fucking befuddling. The whole P. Diddy situation with him beating the crap out of Cassie. It's on camera. You can see P. Diddy he's beating the shit out of the girl. He did a terrible fucking apology. He admits to it. And there are people legitimately going, well, you know, it's her fault if she would have listened to him. What are you talking about? What is wrong with you? What the fuck? But it gets better. Just a little bit ago, I posted something on the community post, and there was these people, and again, it's a handful, but the fact that there's even one person talking like this, there are people that are really weighing whether or not the bloodline, the angle, and they put the picture of Sami Zayn hitting Roman at the Royal Rumble. So they're talking about peak bloodline. They're debating whether or not the bloodline angle, whether or not it was better or worse than Omega and Hangman. What the fuck? And then we put the cherry on top. Well, in reality, maybe the P. Diddy one is a little bit worse, but I mean, relevant to professional wrestling. We put the cherry on top on the What the Fuck Sunday. You people, I need to get off. How do I get off this planet without skibbitying myself? I don't know how to do it. I need an island to myself. You know what? Some people who have just a smidge of common sense, people who think 2 + 2 = 4, you're allowed to come on this island. If you put 2 and 2 together and it equals 22, please stay on Earth. Stay the fuck on Earth. And I mean an island on another planet. There are people who are saying, in particular Bayley, I seen her post a tweet saying that we need to bring back the Women's Evolution pay-per-view. You guys, you're turning me into a misogynist. I don't want to have misogynistic opinions. I don't. And I don't feel like I am having it. I don't feel like I'm having misogynistic opinions. I think the things that I'm saying are relevant and they make sense. I think they make sense because I'm personally going for equality. You know, that's what I'm going for. I'm not saying that an all-men's pay-per-view wouldn't be better without the women being on it. I'm not suggesting that, nor am I saying that's a good thing. The stuff that happened in Saudi Arabia, that's a completely different circumstances. But I'm not saying to have a men's all pay-per-view versus a women's all pay-per-view. But the fact that you're suggesting an all women's pay-per-view, so let's just get that out the way first. Can you imagine? And like I said, the Saudi Arabia situation completely different. Let's talk about the United States. Can you imagine a scenario where we're saying, just go outwardly, anybody outwardly on public and say, you know what? I think it's time that we have an all men's pay-per-view. What the fuck you think is going to happen? Anybody wants to raise their hands? Anybody in the crowd? Let me know what's going to happen if you say that you want to have an all-men's pay-per-view. Let's see, misogynistic, you are sexist, your job is ruined, you're probably going to get doxxed, your girlfriend's going to see what you tweeted, and she's going to stand by your side, but then eventually leave you when they call her a person who betrayed her sex. We're going to get a bunch of fucking hoopla! So let's just get the obvious out of the way first, because I just don't understand. It's like the racism argument when you can say a bunch of things about white people, but if you say about any other race, then it's like you're being a racist. And it makes no sense. It's not consistent at all. None of this shit is consistent. Okay, so that's just the obvious. As far as a physical noticing of just completely obliterating the obvious in regards to rights. Let's just get that out the way, because again, double standards. Oh my God, the internet, if they didn't have double standards, they have no standards. Okay, now we talk about the stupidity of the women's evolution as far as a pay-per-view concept. Now let's go back in time about 6 years ago when they first did it. Now, when they first did it to begin with, you know why they did it? You know how they got away with it, guys? Okay, let's just put you up on game real quick. They got away with it because Ronda Rousey at that time didn't burn like every fucking bridge. Like, she didn't go full Sacramento collapse bridge. She didn't go full Brooklyn bridge. No. Everything was still intact. The world was still a better place. Everybody loved everybody. We could shake hands. We can go our separate ways without coming back tomorrow and recognizing that in reality our hands were cut off after we shook the hands of the person that we thought didn't backstab us. The world was great. Okay. And Ronda Rousey, to most, I think I will even say that probable, looking at how far away that it wasn't, and compared to what she did the last time in UFC, she was still somewhat of a draw. At least, if for nothing else, a draw in professional wrestling, in the sense that we didn't see much from her at that point in time. And she didn't say stupid shit online. That would come like a month or two later. She was an appropriate fixture to be the marquee on the Evolution card, right? And then you bring in the whole cringe Bella Army shit. Okay, cool. They're trash, but at the same time, I get it. Nikki Bella, Bella Army, cringe. Ronda Rousey, bring them both together, they can headline a show. And then you have, for the most, the marks out there, the real wrestling fans, you got Becky and you got Charlotte in a last man standing match, or a last woman standing match on the undercard, right? That's a nice way to sell the pay-per-view, right? You got an undercard strong with one of the biggest women currently at that moment being pushed, and Becky Lynch she's hitting all the stratospheres as far as what it means to hit a benchmark for a woman, going against the person that you forced in that position like a fucking puppet, and Charlotte Flair on the undercard. And you got Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella, the Bella Army, the biggest fucking cringe fest of loser, infidel, fucking incel, virgin, loser bitches in the fucking... You get what I'm saying? And then Ronda Rousey, the superstar at the time. That's how that pay-per-view worked. What draw do you have today to think to yourself that would work? And when I mean draw, I mean legitimate draw. Not no, I left this woman and therefore I believe that she's a draw because I tell myself that. No, factually speaking, numerical numbers, produce them for me. I need to see numbers to make me believe that wrestler from a women's perspective you put in that spot is going to make that pay-per-view worth buying. Mind you, even then, when you had Ronda Rousey on the Evolution pay-per-view card, the reason, and as far as the rumors that I'm hearing as to why they never ran it back, was because it was one of, if not the worst drawing fucking PLEs, pay-per-views, special event, whatever you want to fucking call it, of all time. Now, granted, you can say to yourself, well, Devontae, how does that work with the WWE network? And I don't fucking know. Don't hold me accountable to what the fuck they say. But what I'm saying is that was the rumored, okay? I don't know the numerical figure because like you said, and like I said, it's on the WWE network at that time. And obviously, if you put the Evolution on the Peacock network, it's going to be the same situation. But I could definitely tell you, hearing the rumors for everybody, it was a lousy investment. And it was horrible in regards to getting back on that ROI. You wasted all that fucking time, all that money, and all that fucking acclaim to build up to make it feel as if it's more special than it ended up fucking being, right? They only did it anyways because they wanted to, shut everybody up because of the whole Saudi Arabia stuff when they did have an all-men's pay-per-view. But there's no reason to have that now. There's no reason why. Why? What are you going to put on the card? What are you going to put on the card? You're going to put 3 championship matches from NXT, right? You're going to hold some stupid-ass Battle Royal, right? You're going to have some stupid-ass Queen of the Ring tournament, most likely, right? You're going to have a rivalry that's peaking on both shows, right? I'm assuming, right? From SmackDown and for Raw. And then what? Then what? How many things actually fit those criteria that make you want to watch the fucking show? Here's my thought. Here's what I think. And who does this better than anyone for the people who shit on the fucking show all the time? NXT does it pretty fucking well when it comes to dividing the women and dividing the men and making each person feel actually important. They do it perfectly fucking well. We can actually take both genders, and I know this is a an anomaly, right? This is a terrible fucking concept. I understand, right? Devontae, you're a horrible person for wanting to have the women and the men on the card at the same time, and you give them undivided attention. We can actually get the women over, the majority of them, because you know the majority of them who are already here currently at the moment show up on shows and they get fucking crickets, but you want to put those same women on the Evolution card. We can actually get these women over, right? Right. Like how they're doing as far as character development in NXT in front of that audience. We can get them to that point, but on a bigger scale, so we can have a reason to want to see them on the fucking PLEs, right? I know. Good God almighty, I'm just thinking out of the fucking box right now, right? We can get multiple women to be in that position, and then, you know, we can produce those matches on the card. Here's another silly fucking thought. How about we do that throughout the rest of the roster, whether it's Raw, whether it's SmackDown. You get multiple people over, not just the women, but the men also. You get them the superstar status by, you know, producing characters, producing legitimate stories, not going 50-50 with the booking, not focusing directly on matches, and we get more angles and more skits and more backstage vignettes to promote throughout the show. You know, we can do more of that, get over like 30 superstars every fucking week on a 2-hour show, and maybe even 60 or 45 on a 3-hour show like fucking Raw, and we do that over and over and over in a repetitious type of manner, right? So therefore, when we get to a point where all the superstars are getting massively over, we can go out of our way to say, hey, you know what? There's a lot of superstars who are over. We can kind of justify having a single branded fucking pay-per-view, right? So that way Raw has its own pay-per-views. You know, you get about 5 or 4 shows, and SmackDown has its own pay-per-views, about 4 or 5 shows. And we go back to the old format of them only having, you know, combined shows whenever they show up on Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania. You know, the old format when we actually got a bunch of fucking people over. You know what I mean? I know, hard fucking concept. I'm just thinking outside of the box here for a moment. So therefore, you can have like 4 women matches consistently happening on one pay-per-view show, and then 4 on a different pay-per-view show between both brands, and then you can have a multiple amount of pay-per-views for the multiple amount of women on one fucking show from NXT, and therefore you're getting over like 12, 15, maybe even 20 women matches on any given fucking pay-per-view show. I know, such a hard concept, but apparently we're such nitwit dipshits when it comes to professional wrestling. Management has their heads so far up their own asses, the wrestlers themselves thinking that they're doing the right thing by providing equity rather than actual fucking equality. Looking at you, Bayley, love you to death, dumb fucking idea. You actually feel that it's a better idea to further the segregation between men and women of having their own pay-per-views. Because like I said, 2 can play at this game, right? We're not trying to have double standards here, right? You justify one, we could justify the other. If I were to go out of my way and suggest that we should have an all-men's pay-per-view, and my justification is none of the women are over in comparison to the men, what would you say to that, Bayley? I think you would say that I'm a sexist, I'm a misogynist, I should shut my fucking mouth for speaking such egregious words. But then when you say it about the women, then apparently we're having the best time of our lives, right? Women. Nah. We're not gonna play them games. We're not gonna play them games. Do your fucking jobs, get your women over, and then maybe they can have justification to be on the pay-per-view shows, and that way, like I said, you know, a little bit ago, you want to just rewind that about a minute and a half. Then we can actually justify the reasoning for having so many women on the card. Because I'm not a sexist, I'm a realist. I look at the situation and I look at my environment and I say, what best suits my mentality? What best suits me physically? And you know what that usually applies to? That usually applies to what actually fits my mentality going through our professional wrestling and my years and my history as a professional wrestling fan. You feel me? So check it out real quick. You know, you go back in the days, we're going to go back, let's rewind a little tiny bit. Because there's a way you can get even more women over, not just the 4, you know, or 5 matches you can have between the women on each single branded card if you knew what the fuck you were doing. I know this is a hard concept for people to understand because we have been so indoctrinated with this woke nonsense bullshit, and they want you to actually believe in the end of the day that playing up sexuality is a raw thing, even though the sexuality that they play up, they do it on different other platforms like Instagram or Twitter or any of these other multiple upon multiple different social media platforms. But when you do it in the sacred ring of professional wrestling, all of a sudden it's a fucking bad thing. Let me spit some game to y'all really quick. To all the wrestlers out there who want to pretend as if virtue signaling is going to be the thing that gets you over in the end of the fucking day. No. Sexuality sells. How many times have we been through this, gentlemen? Sexuality sells. You know this and I know this. That's why you do it on different platforms. So why sit here and virtue signal as if I want to get over as a professional fucking wrestler? Where is that getting you in the end of the day? Let's throw this out there real quick. A couple of names. Just a couple who could probably be a signifier for, a proper position as running the forefront of professional wrestling from a women's perspective that could probably drag more attention to all your other wrestlers who aren't as attractive. Let's call it like we see it, who aren't as attractive. They're not. And who knows, they could probably wrestle, and then the cute women, the actual sexual women, the sexy women, if you will, can bring attention to these women who know how to wrestle, but they aren't as sexy. Jada Parker, Nikita Lyons, right there, two women, straight up, just throwing two examples out there for you guys really, really quick. Imagine them in bra and panties matches. Imagine Jada Parker on SmackDown and Nikita Lyons on Raw, and they're running bra and panties matches, right? Imagine the attention you would get on your show from the male audience off rip. It worked in the Attitude Era, and it will work today. And guess what? Today's environment, when you look on social media or rap songs or rap videos or whatever the case may be, don't let them don't let them obfuscate from the issue. They pretend that they're down for the virtue signal, right? They pretend that they're down for the women stuff. Today's day and age is more sexual than ever before. You can't go 2 seconds without seeing some type of porn. You can't, whether it's softcore, whether it's hardcore. You can't go 2 seconds scrolling down your phone without seeing something alluding to porn. You can't. Every fucking way you look, you can't. Back when I grew up in the 90s, you had to fucking scour to look for a magazine to catch Playboy somewhere, right? You had to stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning to see the Girls Gone Wild shit on HBO. Today, you just go on your cell phone, type in X videos, and boom, you got porn right then and there. At the palm of your hands, split second. You got 11-year-olds who can do this shit. Hell, you got 8-year-olds who can do this shit nowadays. Miss me with the sexualized nonsense, especially coming from the people who would advocate to let women do what they want to do with their bodies if they want to sexually be flaunting, the whole slut shame, slut walk, all this other kind of shit. Miss me with the nonsense, bruh. Y'all just want to pick and choose in order whatever to be virtuous over. Get the women in the position to be sexualized. They can run the forefront like Sable did back in '98 when it was literally her and Austin in the summertime going up against the NWO. They don't want to tell you that shit because that means they have to actually tell you the truth about sexually appeal being the actual draw to professional wrestling at the time. They don't want to tell you that though, but I'm here to tell you that Sable, right underneath Austin, was the biggest draw over the summer of 1998. You can make an argument between D-Generation X and Sable, but guess what? Top 3, Sable, off rip, going head to head with the NWO. Kevin Nash will tell you that. Kevin Nash is the one that said, oh man, you're watching us and we're being handcuffed, but then you turn to the next channel and you're seeing Sable and her titties all out and shit like that. That ain't me. That's Kevin Nash, the guy who was in the army heading up with the next army. But let me be the one to be like, oh no, Bayley, yeah, let's bow down to Bayley. Yeah, evolution, women's evolution. You got no fucking woman who's interesting at all. But yeah, let's drop the women's evolution. Right. You good, Bayley? You good. Hey, how about you get on a poster, or better yet, how about you get on a fucking show while you're sitting here talking about the women's evolution? Like I said, I fuck with Bayley. I like Bayley. I want to see Bayley succeed. You put the belt on her for a reason, right? So I would assume that you have a plan for her, right? But let's get one thing straight, Bayley. You so focused on everybody else. Let's get multiple women over, because for the evolution that we know can't fucking draw at all, you can't even get yourself on an episode of SmackDown, but you worried about the women's evolution? You see where their priorities at, right? Y'all see where these wrestlers' priorities at the end of the day, right? All right, show you right. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And please miss me with the nonsense of misogyny, sexist, all this stuff. Devontae, you yelling and screaming. I get it, bro. This is your way in order to circumvent the actual engagement with the issue of what I'm discussing in the video. I see it all the time in all the other comments and all the other videos. You think I give a fuck? I don't give a fuck. And let me just say, off rip, you ain't gotta fuck with me, but don't fuck with me. It's as simple as that. You don't want to fucking engage with me? You hate what I say? Click off the video, hit unsubscribe if you're subscribed, go to the next video. I actually, this is just my opinion, recommend Brian Zane. He'll probably tell you everything that you want to hear. Just miss me with the thumbnails and the fucking pies and shit like that, sexualizing women. Apparently when I say it, it's a wrong thing, but when he puts pie in front of vaginas, apparently it's a good thing. When he does it, I get you, Baze. You're awesome. I understand hypocrisy. The number one thing done in 2024. Actually, the number one thing done in the past decade. I get it. We can never stand up and naturally stay in line with our virtues and our standards and, our principles. I get it. Do you, homie. I'ma do me. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching y'all later. Deuces, P.I.s.